Let's be real, nobody ever wants to end up in a street fight. But what happens when you've got no other choice? Today, we're going to break down 4 simple but incredibly effective techniques that could, honestly, save your life. This isn't about trying to be a hero, it's about one thing and one thing only: getting home safe.
So, let's just cut right to the chase. What's the absolute #1 single best way to win a street fight? You know, the answer might actually surprise you. And there it is. The best way to win is to not be in the fight in the first place. A street is not a boxing ring, right? There are no rules, no refs. The only real way to guarantee a win is to de-escalate the situation, to walk away, to just avoid the fight altogether. Always.
But we all know sometimes walking away just isn't an option. When you've got to defend yourself or maybe even your family, you need to end that threat and you need to end it fast. So let's dive into the techniques that'll help you do just that.
Okay, before you even think about a single move, it all starts with your posture. There's a very specific stance that does 2 things at once. It helps calm the situation down, but it also gets you ready to act in a split second.
Now, what's so brilliant about this stance is how deceptive it is. See, your hands are up, kind of like a universal, hey, I don't want any trouble gesture. That can actually lower their guard. But here's the secret. Your hands are also perfectly placed to protect your head. And that little step you took back, that gives you a rock-solid, powerful base. So you look passive, but you are absolutely ready to go. And that stance? It's the perfect setup for our first 2 techniques. Now remember, the goal here is not to win some kind of brawl. It's to create a window, a chance to escape. And both of these moves rely on one critical thing: the element of surprise. So, coming in at number 4, we have our first technique. It's a really powerful and surprisingly safe way to create some distance and shock an attacker. And nope, it's not a punch, but trust me, it can be every bit as effective. The magic here is pure misdirection. So, from that defensive stance, you lower one of your hands, almost like you're going to shake theirs. Their eyes, they're going to naturally follow that hand down, leaving them wide open. And in that split second they're distracted, you drive your other hand forward, hitting them with the hard, heel part of your palm and whipping your hip into it for some serious impact. So you might be asking, why a palm strike and not just a punch? Well, it's pretty simple, really. First, you're not going to break your hand, which is a super common injury in a real fight. It's also just as good for creating that shock you need to get away, but it usually causes less serious injury. And that's a really important thing to consider from a legal standpoint, too.
Alright, so what if the person just ignores you trying to de-escalate and keeps coming at you? Well, our third technique targets a weak spot that everybody has, and it works no matter how big they are, how strong they are, or how tough they think they are.
This move is all about using their own momentum against them. As they're coming towards you, you take a little step back. The moment that back foot plants on the ground, that's when you drive a straight, hard punch right into their center. Their forward movement literally adds power to your strike at the exact moment of impact. And here's the crucial part. This has nothing to do with brute force. When you hit this specific spot, this nerve cluster, it makes their diaphragm totally spasm. They literally can't breathe. It's like a physiological shutdown that can disable an attacker instantly, and it doesn't matter how big their muscles are.
Okay, let's get into our final 2 techniques. Now these are designed for those absolute worst-case scenarios, where the attacker has already closed the distance, they're right in your personal space, and you've got 0 room to move.
So picture this. Someone's right up in your face, trying to intimidate you, posturing, and there's just no space left to create. This is your go-to, immediate, and explosive counter. This is a pure, close-quarters defensive move, plain and simple. From that face-to-face position, you're just going to rock your upper body back slightly, just enough to get a little room, and then you drive forward, striking the soft, vulnerable part of their face, the nose, with the hardest part of your skull, your forehead. The second you make contact, you don't hang around to see what happens. You run. The whole point is to create chaos and get out of it. And now for our final technique. This one is the most decisive, and it should be treated as an absolute last resort. This is for when you are in immediate danger and you have to end the threat, right here, right now. And yeah, a very serious word of caution here. A powerful hook to the chin can cause someone to lose consciousness and do serious damage. You have to make a conscious and necessary decision that using this is the only way to protect yourself from getting seriously hurt. So from that super close position, you take a quick half step back. Just enough room to let one fly.
Now, the power here doesn't come from your arm, it comes from your whole body. You pivot on your foot, you turn your hip, and you just whip your arm around in a hook, aiming right for the chin. And here's a tip. Exhale sharply as you punch. It makes it way faster and a lot more powerful.
So, we've just gone over 4 really powerful techniques. But the most important lesson here isn't about any one of these moves. It's about your ultimate goal.
You have to remember these 3 principles. These 4 techniques we talked about, they're not for winning a medal. They are simply tools. And these tools are all designed to do one single thing: create a window for you to escape to safety. That is always, always the goal.
So the final thought I want to leave you with is this. The true victory is never about proving you're tougher or about winning some pointless fight. It's about getting home safely to the people you care about. The real win is walking away.